Let's go. When hits, a little complex here. Some hang cleans into some front squats. As I get heavier, we'll cut the front squats. Just do hang cleans from the pull here. Hit sets of 3. Let's get it. We got the Angus Bradley Crocs on today. Special edition. Let's get it. Oof. Oof. Almost ripped off my necklace there. Oof. 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 We got like 40 minutes before game time, so we're gonna hit these, see how much else we get done, but we'll hit hang cleans for sure. Not really sure how I'm gonna continually drop this, so this might be the last set of the front squat complex because I don't know how to drop it down on the ground. I might actually go from, I might pull it out, hit the hang clean from there rather than from the blocks, but we'll see. I don't really want to break anything at Lifetime my second day here. That'd be great. Last time I was here, I did the push press fail and got in trouble for that one. So let's not do that again. Here we go. I guess that's one way to do it. I don't know if that's the best way. I feel like that thing is not going to hold up to the bar. Keep going. I'm gonna rip some hang cleans here. Let's do sets of 3. Keep ripping sets of 3. I guess we were doing sets of 2 with that front squat, but just gonna hit some hang cleans. See how much time we got left after warming up for BP. We got BP an hour before the game. Then we got 2 league nights tonight. We were just closer to Lifetime than my gym, so we're lifting here. Let's get it. Almost yeeted there. Man, those do not feel very good from that position. Shit. Ripping here through the Crocs, sport mode. Let's rip it. These feel like shit from this angle. This bar is trash. The setup is trash. We are built different. Let's get it. Damn. We're quitting there. High level disinterest there. They'll suck. We're gonna hit 5 sets of 3 here. Weighted squat jumps. Keep adding weight until it feels like not a jump anymore. Keep ripping these. Hopefully this setup's a little bit better than those cleans. I really thought these pins were gonna be cool and better, but they're about to break off of this rack. Here we go. Let's get it. All right, set number 2 here, out of 5. Got these from Will Rattel, the full squatted jumps out of the hole. I think he was doing it with like 315, 405, like a total freak. But I made a post on this too. It's like you want a free velocity tracker for your bar. Start with an empty bar, squat down and jump, and keep adding weight until you can't jump anymore. And then you'll get the whole velocity side of it at the front end, and at the back end you'll get a full strength rep, right? So you work up to basically just 1 rep max. It's kind of a cool little challenge. You just do bar, do a set of 3 jumps with just the bar. At a 45, do a set of 3. At 45, 25, do a set of 3. Keep adding in until you get to like 4 or 5, 500, 600, whatever your max squat is. You're gonna get some fast high jumps at the beginning, and you're gonna get some really heavy squats towards the end. It's a fun little challenge. Try out. We're not gonna do that today because we got balls and we gotta hit some nukes today. But let's get it. All right, set number 3 here. Let's rip. Two more. Let's go. Set number 4 here. Let's get it. Last set here, then we'll hit some spine bends before we go. Just feel greasy. Then we'll hit some BP. There's rumors of some rain. If it does rain, you guys will get a longer video, and we will come back here if softball is canceled. If not, I'll take you to the field, and we'll see what content we get there. Maybe it's none. Maybe it's a ton. We'll find out. Depends on the rain there, too. If it sprinkles, definitely not bringing the camera out, but we'll definitely play. But if it thunders, we will be out of there. All right, let's get it. Oof. 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 Let's go. All right, before we go, just gonna hit some side bends, 50 total each side. Feeling nice and greasy before we go. I like doing these after a lot of compressive type stuff and before swings, otherwise I get pretty jacked up. Oh, nice and deep. Cross this front foot over, pin that hip there. Feels much better than staying stationary. And come in here, lock that hip in place by crossing it over. Come in here, then deep side bend here. You can take a deep inhale in at the bottom, feel that stretch, and you come back up. Ooh. Ooh, other side here. Couple more sets, then we out ski. All right, just finished up Lifetime. I just saw that my mic died, and I did this rant like for 2 minutes and realized that my audio was not being picked up. So I have no idea how long my mic's actually been dead. Maybe that whole workout was mutes, which might have been a good thing because it was and the workout was kind of those cleans kind of stunk. I thought that setup was going to be better than it was. I was kind of excited to pull from blocks in quotations. I know those hooks aren't necessarily blocks, but those were really bad. Like those things felt like they were going to completely shatter. They're super cheap Lifetime hooks. But what are elites? These double eggs from Lifetime, holy crap, dude. They got some sauce in here. I know it's probably not the healthiest sauce ever, but god dang, bro. I got that. I mean, they're like $6 deviled eggs, so I mean, it's probably 2 eggs too, so it better be damn good. But man, they are fire. Speaking of the hack, dude, Lifetime's cafe has to be a hack. Like it's a total hack. It's the only food they sell in this gym. It's good, solid food, and it's super expensive. And I feel like they double. I would like to know the ratio on how much money they make from that cafe per customer, because I bet for a lot of customers, they make as much from that cafe as they do with their monthly gym memberships. Because, I mean, bro, my dumb ass, I'll go there and buy one of their protein shakes and eggs, and that's like $15 right there. You do that a couple times a week, you're screwed. That's why I don't go there anymore, bro. I spend too much money on their cafe. Anyways, that's a hack. But yeah, I didn't love the clean setup. We're on our way to go hit some softballs now. It looks pretty rainy out, so I don't know. I was gonna hopefully be able to do some Q&As when I was hitting softballs, but I don't want to bring this camera out in the rain. It looks pretty crappy out. So might just do a bunch of yapping in the car on my way to this softball field, and then we're gonna hit off a tee and then drive to the next softball field for practice. One of the things that I got a question about, I posted my tee work yesterday. It's like, when you're preaching a constraint-led approach, why are you doing tee work? I get that aspect of it. One of the things, and this kind of goes with yesterday's similar rant, and I get that the tee is far removed from the actual sport. But part of sport, part of getting good at a craft is just at the end of the day, and I know the emergence guys are going to hate this. I know a lot of constraint-led guys are going to hate this, but part of it is just getting reps in. It really is. It's just like, you got to feel competent, and you got to feel confident and competent. Both those words, I think they're very similar. And you do that by getting reps in, man, and working on the game itself. I don't have somebody that's going to pitch to me 100 balls every single day. I got a couple people that I'll BP with, and I do believe BP and game situations are way more valuable straight up if you're just going to take them head to head than AT work. I agree with you there. I agree with every in the emergence. I agree with all the constraint-led approach in that kind of process. But doing something is absolutely better than doing nothing. And then again, on yesterday's rant where I think we kind of overthink things, it's like we got to a point where T-work is no longer good because it's so far removed from the game. And I've trapped myself in this before. So for years in softball when I was learning this, so we're in I think this is year 4 of softball. The start, I was so smart. I was so intelligent that I didn't do any T-work because I was like, bro, it's so far removed from the game. It's just wasting time. And so instead of getting any swings in, instead of getting any work in, instead of becoming competent or working on my craft at all, I did none of it because nobody could pitch to me. They want to sit there and pitch to me all day, every day, like I want to hit. So I got no work done instead of some work done, right? So I think that can go for a lot of skills that you're trying to develop. At the end of the day, part of it is a rep game. If you're, and again, I get like the argument in basketball. There's this huge argument in basketball, and I get part of it. I understand it. I've argued for this aspect of it. If you're shooting 100 or 1,000 free throws every single day, at some point there is going to be a lot of diminishing returns, and you're not going to get a ton out of that because basketball is played with defense. You got to make all these shots not on air. You got to make them with the defense. However, that is once you reach a certain level, once you're at a certain high level, you're a college basketball player already. You're a high school basketball player. You're just not very good at basketball. You take 100 or 1,000 shots on air every single day, you're going to become a better shooter. The same with the tee. You take 100 swings every single day, you're going to become a better swinger. Again, at some point this is going to get capped and you're going to have to face a defense. You're going to have to add constraints. You're going to have to make it harder. But I think we lose sight of levels to this game, right? If I right now, I'm terrible at basketball. If I go through and just swear off not shooting at all, I'm going to stay the same shooter I am. If I take 100 shots on air every single day, I will become a better shooter. It will not be the most transition to a game thing possible. I'm not going to become an NBA basketball player this way, but I will become a better shooter than I was before. I will raise my level. And then again, at certain levels, I need to add constraints. I need to level up my practice. And I think this is where a lot of coaches, we are working with athletes that have already at that level and they already need to level up their practice. But doing something is better than doing nothing. And again, a lot of it's just a psychological game. When I take a lot of swings off a tee and I get those reps in and I feel competent and confident in my swing, I play better. And that's a huge component of it too. So if you have a basketball player that likes taking shots on air, there is a component to, okay, we do need to better your practice. We do need to work on some of your skill points. The same thing that I need to work on swings live and I need to work on a pitcher that's trying to get me out. There is a massive difference there. Some part of it is that psychological benefit of, okay, I'm just getting swings in, I'm working on my craft, and I'm feeling confident in my swing because I have so many reps in, right? One of the things on that note is Evie, I just want to answer one Q&A because Evie asked a good one, is like, how do you deal with athletes that have the yips, right? Athletes that get nervous. And this, I think, ties in very nicely because I truly, truly, truly believe that nerves are tied to competency, right? You are nervous because you know at the heart that a lot of things have to go really right for your skill set to shine on the field, right? There's a high probability of you failing if you're not very good at the sport, right? When athletes say I can do it in practice but I can't do it in a game, I struggle with that thought process because most athletes that say that, they can't do it in practice, right? You just get way more reps in practice. So let's say it's softball, you play softball, you get to practice 100 pitches in practice, right? Like 100 BP pitches, they're throwing you 100 balls. You're going to hit, let's say, 20 of them, 20% of those pitches really well, and it's going to feel amazing. And at the end of the day, you're going to think about those 20 swings. See, I did it in practice for those 20 swings. Yes, but that 20 swings is still 20%, right? And that's with a BP pitcher, okay? That's not with a pitcher that's trying to get you out. So already you're at 20%, but you think, oh, I did 20 balls. I remember the good stuff. You remember all the times you got out in practice, right? All the times you failed in practice and all these reps that you had that weren't the perfect thing. And this is in a situation that's already super comfortable and super like they're feeding you balls. They're feeding you BP balls, right? Then you get to a game, you get somebody that's trying to get you out and you understand, oh, I'm only a 20% hitter, right? So in practice, to be able to say, oh, I can do it in practice, but I can't do it in game, dude, you better be doing it 100% of the time in practice, right? I really believe it's just you need to level up your competency. You got to get better at the sport. And getting better at the sport, you do it 100% of the time in practice, you're going to do it way more often in a game. And now if you're doing it 100% of the time in practice, you got to raise up your level of practice to more like a game, right? So this is where, again, it's no more tee work, right? You need to add a pitcher. You need to add a pitcher that's trying to get you out. You need to add a pitcher that's throwing balls that you don't hit very well. But let's say you struggle with, I guess I was going to say a curveball, but I guess it's a rise ball in softball. I don't even do that throw curveballs in fast pitch. They throw them in slow pitch. I would assume they throw them in fast pitch, but I know they throw a rise ball. But let's say it's a rise ball that you struggle with in fast pitch, okay? if you face a rise ball, let's say you find the best pitcher on your team and you face that rise ball hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of time in practice, at some point you are going to expect to hit the rise ball because you have gotten so many reps of hitting that rise ball, right? So you went to a specific situation that you struggled in practice, got those reps in. Now you're going to go to the game and you're not going to have these yips anymore. It's going to be, I know how to hit the ball that I didn't know how to hit before. You got nervous because you knew you couldn't hit the ball and a lot of things had to go right. You can get lucky in a game 100%, and that's where I think the yips part come into. Like, you got lucky in a game and you hit the rise ball once, but now you can't hit it and now you got the yips. No, you're just not a very good rise ball hitter. You got lucky once and now you're not getting lucky anymore, or you know a lot of things have to go right. So instead of dealing with all that psychological nonsense, get really good at doing the things you suck at, which is hitting that rise ball, let's say. Face it 1,000 times. Face a really good pitcher that has that skill set. Do it over and over again, and you're going to become a hitter of rise balls, and there's no longer going to be that yip aspect to it. Right? Maybe it's something as simple as, not as simple, but maybe it's, I'm not a very good hitter in front of people, right? That's another total different skill set. That is a psychological skill set. You know how you fix becoming a hitter in front of people? Stop BPing by yourself. Stop BPing with no crowd, right? Bring people to your practices. I know Tyler Yerby and I'm blanking on his name, Sean Mishka. I know they talked about this too. One of the things with their athletes was they really struggled when their family was there, and without telling the athlete, they called up their that family members and they brought them to practice and they worked on it. So obviously that's not super easy to do. You can't fill a stand with 30,000 people, right? But you can work on the noise aspect. You can bring some people into your stands. You can work on certain aspects of this game, and I think building your practices more like your games and working on the actual things, the skill sets, the tangible skill sets that you suck at, rather than sitting in this, oh, it's a weird psychological yip game. I don't know, like, I need to become more mentally tough. No, dude, mentally tough, that's a totally different skill set, right? Like, what are you mentally tough in? I'm mentally tough in facing a crowd because I've gotten thousands of reps of hitting with a crowd there, right? I'm mentally tough in facing a rise ball because I've gotten 1,000 reps of facing the rise ball, right? Waking up early, that's going to make you mentally tough at waking up early, strictly waking up early because you've gotten 1,000 reps of waking up early. That does not transition to becoming a hitter of the rise ball, right? So I think finding the things that you suck at, building those up, and adding that skill set to your repertoire is going to make you less yippy because you've solved the issue, right? And you can kind of do this with everything. You kind of break it down. It doesn't make it easy, but at least you have some sort of control over these aspects rather than sitting in this, frick, man, it's a psychological warfare. I don't know what to do, right? So work on the things you suck at, get the reps in over and over again, continue to level up your practices to make you struggle and deal with that failure in practice. So when you face it in a game, it's nothing new, right? So that's an 11-minute rant. That's pretty good. We'll add that to the video. Hopefully the other stuff got on camera, but we're going to go hit softballs here. We're at the field right behind you. Right here. Oh, I left a ball out on the field. Or unless this guy, I don't know what this guy's doing. Maybe he left a ball out on the field. But we're going to go hit some BP we got like 30 minutes of BP, and then we're going to go to a game. I'm going to work on my rise ball. Let's get it.